Are you vibrant? We're vibrant. Okay. People still coming in. Come on in. I'll keep on admitting you. Okay, thanks. Cool. So welcome everyone. We are just delighted, and the semester doesn't really start for us until the Monday of classes. Until you are all here. So welcome. Oh my goodness, so exciting. Okay. We will, as you can see, hopefully down at the bottom of the screen, we're going to be using Google Slides closed captioning so that
leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather,
so that Smith can play around with them. But also, the Zoom closed captioning isn't captured when we screen capture what's going on unless you do it to, anyway, it's complicated, and so this is how we're going to do it.
Would that it were so simple.
Yeah. What else do we have here? We are recording these sessions. We've already started, so just to let you know, we do only pin our video, and so even if you have your video on, it shouldn't show up on any recording, but just know that there's a possibility as we transition to different sharings of slides and things like this. If you have it on, it may be captured. The welcome chats, we're getting ready. Do you have your coffee?
I have my coffee. Do you have yours?
Yeah, I have two coffees.
Right,
do you have your coffee? Okay. Yeah, and we are ready to go. Almost everyone is here.
They love my hair.
Oh,
and nose ring. It's not me.
No. Haha.
It's somebody. We changed the lighting so there was less shine because we were like, it's too much.
Too bright.
The reflection.
Too bright. It was blinding me. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we will introduce ourselves in a little while. And for those of you who want to know, can you? But let's kind of just dive in and start getting you learning how to use some of the tools that we're going to be using, showing you a little bit about our kind of style, getting used to all of those things. Okay,
it's actually modern.
So usually what we have kind of as the first content slide is a list of learning outcomes, basically what we have designed the lesson for the day to sort of teach you or sort of kind of expose you to stuff that you should be able to do by the end of this class after a bit of practice, that type of thing. And you can use it as a kind of checklist. Today, obviously, we have a little bit of a different plan because we're going to tell you about this course and how to navigate it. Most of you, the whopping majority of you, have already done the readings for today and have already done the quiz. Yay, you.
So whopping majority, that's a statistical term.
Yes, it is. For those of you who are sitting at home or wherever you are now panicking going, WTF quiz? So we'll give you a free pass for today. We will open it up for another few hours, so we'll close it today by 6 p.m. for those that are literally sweating right now. Do not sweat. What I will tell you, though, is that we did send multiple emails and we did post it and we did a bunch of things to let you know. So hopefully, well, and I do know that, 595 of you knew about it, but
there is thanks being expressed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And genuinely would not have remembered if not for the email.
On Friday, yeah, we have these automatic emails. So don't rely on them because CourseLink is glitchy. But, this is a whole new experience for you. What are these people putting in these quizzes before class starts? We get that. And trust us, though, it's for a good reason. So we will open up again the quiz for those of you who haven't done it yet, but please make sure that you do the weekly reading, the pre-lecture reading, as well as the quiz by the end of today. Okay? Good. Great. Because then we won't be extending. These are usually hard deadlines, but today obviously is the first day, so we can be chill, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look how slow we're going to speak.
So. Okay, so we want to teach you how to use these tools. So to use the tools, maybe you've already been using them. I don't know, but take a look.
Some won't have. Some of you will have. Some of you will be master tool users. Some will be apprentices. apprentice tool users. You will all get to use tools.
Tools. So take a look. Let me just make sure that the security options allow for you to be able. Yes, clearly. Thank you, Megan. Brilliant. So go and follow the little tools. Find your stamp tool and click on the map where you currently are.
There's a lot of you on ships.
On ships in the middle of the ocean. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. What we will do, though, is ask, for those of you who are doing doodles, if you wouldn't mind clearing that. Because what we want to do, and I think you can do that just by going up to clear your own. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, brilliant. So now you know how to do it. Okay, this is great. Because sometimes sometimes you can have fun. You can always write in the margins of our slides, right? Like, feel free. There was this one student last semester who drew a new animal every week. That's fine. But we do use these tools in order to like do some work and some real learning. And so we do ask that you kind of respect the tools and just, use them appropriately, obviously.
There's some questions about annotation.
Yeah.
Some of you are asking about what if I don't see the annotate tool? And I think this might have to do with you being on some fruit-based project. Like an iPad, maybe even an iPhone.
Which were very small.
Very small!
And I think that the hint was touch the screen and you should see something in the bottom left.
We're mirrored.
Oh, it's so hard.
Okay. So touch the screen, bottom left, there should be like a little pencil or something like this, and that should be your annotation tool. Somebody's from Mars. Brilliant. Finally, we have an alien invasion. Oh, that's beautiful. Whoever's drawing that person in the left. Wonderful. Okay, so I do see, in all seriousness, I see that most of you are concentrated in North America, although I love thinking about the fact that there are other people from other places as well. So if we could stop annotating.
I'll clear.
Yeah, we will clear. So let's see. Thank you. Stop annotating.
Pens up.
Pens up. Okay. And here we go. Let's try to spread it out a little bit. So if you are in this map, where are you?
I think there's some of you.
Yeah.
It is very early.
Nice.
Lovely.
Nice. If somebody really is in Arctic Bay, yay.
Hooray.
That's awesome. You're in Jasper, Alberta. Wonderful.
Thank you for joining us early.
Yeah. Okay. So another, obviously the thing that we have to acknowledge if some of you are across these time zones is that you are waking up early, and we will do our very best to respect that. So we don't.
You put this under the camera all the time.
Yeah.
Wafted.
So classes are important, and recordings won't. Our classes are run like study sessions in a way. So watching a recording isn't helpful like for 100% of the time. Like if you're sick, of course, watch the recording. But the idea is that we are going to be engaging you and we are going to be kind of studying together. You can't really cram for the tests in this course. It's built like by process of like studying together and working together. So we don't waste your time, right? So like, we get questions like, oh, I couldn't come to class. Did I miss anything important? Well, we don't put anything that's not important in the class, if you understand what I mean. Like, we don't want to waste your time. Okay, let's kind of keep on zooming in. So can we get a clear on the annotate? And then, yeah, I got it. Zooming in. If you are on this map, where are you? Yay, most of you are in Guelph, but some of you are not.
Well done, you.
Yay, say yay, so good. Mars, Megan's still from Mars. Wonderful. That's great. Okay, and then clearing one more time. Zooming in now, I think this is as far as we get, but like GTA and like Buffalo, where are you? Spread out in the GTA, that's brilliant. Okay. Good. Wonderful. Okay. Yay. Bruce Peninsula. You're so bad at geography. No worries. This is biology. You are good. Okay. Super good. Okay. So this is delightful. Some of you really are spread out in the area, in the region, in the same time zone, which is delightful. Oh, wait. We're going to go. Sorry. There we go. Great. Guelph, I don't know where that is. That is under the pile of hearts and check marks. And that is where we are as well. So I bet you, yes, please go ahead. I bet you if we stood outside on our front door and screamed and said, hello, then perhaps some of you might actually hear us. Only our neighbor would be like, let's try it. No, don't try it. Wait. Okay, listen.
Hello!
Wonderful.
There's
so
a
good.
service appointment next door that is like, hello?
Hello? Okay. Great. Okay. Now, real biology question, the very first of this semester. Take a look at so this is using a metric of biodiversity. We'll dive into all of that, right? But what I want you to exactly click on the box below what biodiversity region corresponds to where you are right now.
Somebody heard it. It claims.
Super good.
Oh, Zoom, you are a greedy screen hog.
Yeah?
It's very hard to get it to share a screen.
Okay, wonderful. So most of us are present in the green or the light blue area. And that has meaning. That has history. That has culture. That has, engineering. It has all of the different disciplines that are explaining all of these patterns that we see around the world. And we are going to dive into, obviously, principally the biological explanations for that. But we will be touching on some of the other reasons for why we see this kind of pattern globally of biodiversity and what is it and what does it mean and how do we calculate it and what sort of assumptions do we bring to the table when we talk about biodiversity.
One of the things that excites me about biodiversity, and I'll keep reminding you that this excites me, is the fact that you're going to see it. In this class, we're going to talk about biodiversity from graphs of physiological responses to maps. And this is one of the hair on my head just stood up. It makes me tingle to think that this is the aspect of biology where you can study it from satellites to PCR and below. It's molecular to interstellar. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Amazing.
Okay. So let's stop the annotation for just a little bit. But you know what though? It's beautiful. Let's screen capture this one because this is lovely. Okay. And then
get it too.
Okay. And then we're going to clear it. Okay.
Yes, already a good citation of the movie Interstellar.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
And are we going to talk about the platypus? Well,
if you want. Yeah.
Did you know they glow? They fluoresce under ultraviolet light.
What?
That's bananas. That could be your everybody's research program. We're discovering more and more things that fluoresce under ultraviolet radiation. Mammals, like big things. You might. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so...
You don't. Don't point those things at you.
These are the 4 questions that we want you to be able to answer by the end of this semester. They are the only 4 questions that matter, pretty much in biology, just generally. If you can answer these 4 questions, in big and thoughtful ways, then you are good to go in biology generally. Biodiversity is a huge topic that touches on all of the different subdisciplines of biology. So we are going to explore biodiversity from an evolutionary, ecological, and physiological perspective.
Smith is tingly again because I'm writing a big grant right now to fund the research in my lab, and those questions are basically the setup of what we get to research, which is kind of why we're excited and tingly to be here with you all.
That's right.
That excitement.
So we aren't going to answer them for you because we'll do that over the next 12 weeks. But just to kind of understand where we're going, it's important to understand what it is. So that's like the basic, definition kind of stuff, right? That we're not going to focus on too much. But it's way more important to understand the nuance, to understand who's defining it and what their agendas are or their perspectives, right? To understand how their definitions drive decisions and policy, to understand how we can study it in different contexts, and why looking at different species requires us to use different methods. So all of that is tied into what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the semester. And who are we? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Let's start from the left.
Oh, you want to start from the left?
Or start from the right?
You know what? I kind of want to start from the right because I'm super excited.
We didn't warn them that we would do this. But.
Yeah. So we are hoping, and this is Dr. Ward Campbell's very first day with us. Woohoo! Day with us. There, I hear the giggle. How are you?
Thank you. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Super good. Super good.
I am super excited to be here. This is just all your tingles. I've got all the tingles as well. This is just, I'm so excited.
Now, as I realized that you were starting today, I think my first feeling was that of
thank God.
Yes, sympathy.
And
sympathy, because there is a lot, and we are a big group. But we wanted to introduce you today because you are such an important part of this course. So we're delighted to have you. Dr. Ward Campbell, do you want to say hi? Do you want to share some information about you?
Sure. So hello. I can't see any of you. I don't know if you two can see any of them, but I'm really excited to be here. So my background is in freshwater ecology. I worked with fish on agricultural lands, which we've got lots of around where we are. And for those of you on the map, the last map, you will be well aware of that. And I've been at Guelph. I did my undergrad at Guelph. I was a long time ago. And it was very different. And I was just thinking, at the start of this, I thought, gosh, if my first year biology was pretty cool, but it was not like this. So I am really excited for you to be able to experience this as you start this journey. But I did my undergrad here, and then I went away. I did my master's degree in Thailand, which was super cool, and I'm always happy to talk about if you ever want to do that. And then I came back and I did my PhD at Guelph, and here I am. So I'm really excited to be here and to be here with you all.
Yay, wonderful. So are we. So Dr. Ward Campbell is our course coordinator. It means that everything related to everything that goes on in this course goes through Dr. Ward Campbell. And to get in touch, we use a specific email address, and the address is there in blue on the screen, biol1070@uofguelph.ca. Any questions or anything that you need related to the course can go through there. And we like to keep it all in this one rather overwhelming inbox so that we can keep track of what's going on and understand if there are sort of larger patterns of problems that need to be addressed as we go. Like I said, Course Link can be glitchy. If at any point something like disastrous happens to you, chances are it's not us making your life miserable. It's just a glitch.
I thought you were going to start off the course by telling them it's not us, it's you.
No.
Like, no.
No. It's just a glitch.
It's neither of us.
No. So just shoot us a friendly email to ask, but really don't panic about anything. Okay, Smith, who are you?
Hi there. I'm Alex Smith, Dr. Alex Smith. I am lucky enough to be an associate professor here at the University of Guelph. And I've been in Guelph since 2004, which is a while, and I've stayed because I like it and I like the people that I get to work with when I'm here. And what do I work on? It doesn't really matter, but you're going to hear me, I think, share some enthusiasm. I'm astounded by the simple fact that we know so little about the species that we share this planet with. The vast majority of species that we share the planet with aren't named. Just as a simple introductory, like, hello, how do you do? And that's exciting to me because it means that there's a lot that we still have to understand and a lot that the world still has to teach us. And in my group, we try and work with little things to have them teach us things.
Okay, wonderful. I am Dr. Shoshana Jacobs. I am also an associate professor in the Department of Integrative Biology. And I do research on a whole bunch of things. Not really sure where I'm going with all of it because I get really excited about it all. And the way that I run my lab is a transdisciplinary open lab that welcomes all sorts of different students with different backgrounds and stories and things like this. And so they drive my research program. But I think one of the things that I like to spend a lot of time in thinking about biodiversity is the evolution of different solutions to problems and how we might be able to study those solutions to problems and apply them to technology. So I do a lot of work in a field called biomimetics, which is super fun. Moving on.
Yeah. And before we move on, some of you will have questions about that kind of thing, which is lovely and great. And one of the things that we do often in the post-lecture office hours is talk about things that you're interested in.
Yes.
Questions you have, things you're interested in. So
every day after class, we have an hour on Zoom open for exactly these things. So like, just write them in like the chat going, oh my God, I want to talk about this later. Then we will talk about it later, we promise. Okay, so the course. Somebody also wants to know why there are so many darn beetles. Maybe you could put that in the chat.
No, why is there so many darn beetles?
And they're not complaining.
We have no idea. This is why. But then the next question is, why are there so many flies? Why are there so many parasitic wasps?
Mm-hmm.
To which I can zip,
stop.
Save it.
Because we only have 23 minutes left. We will probably go a few minutes over time because we have a lot to tell you about this course. So we divide up the course into 3 topics, but the most important thing for you to understand is that we don't sort of abandon the previous topic. We bring it with us, right? So we're going to start by talking about evolution and how new species are created, how they evolve. And then we're going to go into ecology, bringing evolution with us. And then we're going to go into physiology, bringing evolution and ecology with us. So we do it that way, right? So, are you talking about, like, if you're thinking about our tests, cumulative, are they that kind of deal? We do stick within sort of the framework of that topic's content, but just recognize that we bring those topics with us throughout, okay? And then we have here the breakdown of the different weeks, how it corresponds to everything on CourseLink that you can just take a look at later and kind of match up and understand more fully what we're talking about. Every week starts with a pre-week reading, so you want to do that reading the week before, and the quiz for that reading closes on the Monday morning. We then open up the new content on Wednesday, and then you have until Monday to be able to do it. The spacing is important, the timing is important and deliberate for your learning in order to kind of chunk things and also give your brains a bit of a break. Okay, so we do this to support your mental health, and we do this for a bunch of other reasons to kind of make sure that it's paced in a way that makes sense. So I'm not going to read you this slide because you can totally do that. But basically, we have it all set out through CourseLink, through these Zoom synchronous classes, through the seminars. And we've got it all laid out in this course schedule, which is a sample kind of screenshot of it is down on the bottom right, where week by week we've broken up all of the different components, what you should be doing, and you can use this as a checklist to make sure.
Really?
Because of the madness of this semester, as well as the fact that we're welcoming Dr. Campbell today, we've managed to check everything for the first 3 weeks. And there are a few little things that we have to correct as we go through, and we will do that over the coming week. So everything should be up and running by next week. in terms of the specifics. So there are a couple of dates, for example, that were from last year, so they're just off by a day. We'll get those all figured out, and thank you so much to those of you that have found them. I've kept track. We have a list, and we will update them. But the first 3 weeks are reflected in the schedule accurately.
A couple of questions about where exactly the schedule was again.
The schedule is in the nav bar right at the top of the CourseLink site for 1070. It says course schedule, and you can click on it and take a look. Okay, so here's all the stuff: synchronous, asynchronous, how we make it work. We have 3 synchronous seminars. The rest are asynchronous. 3. Okay, the rest are asynchronous. Okay, which means you can do them on your own time, but you have to do them by the end of that week. You'll see when it closes. All of that is posted.
Now, the other questions that people have been asking are, where are the videos and where can they see the slides? And the answer is yes. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Yes, we'll
For
show
both
you.
Of those things.
Yeah. Okay. So what major are you thinking about declaring? If you are unsure, draw me a line between the two that you are unsure. I declare
bankruptcy. What's a major?
I love that. What's a major? Those are my favorite students because then I can give them ideas. Wonderful. Neuroscience, biomed, physics, molecular biology, and genetics. My goodness. Vet school, psychology. Ooh, environmental science. So good. I don't think we've ever had this diversity of majors before.
Wait, we have a diversity of majors and the diversity of life?
We do.
I think it's going to be yaks all the way down.
Oh, so good. Some people are still trying to decide. That's amazing. Undeclared, keeping my options open, like you. That's good.
Don't put me in a corner.
Hospitality and tourism. Dude, we need to get in touch.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Okay. This is so good. So good. Wonderful. Thank you. Let us screen capture those. Do you have it?
Yep.
Okay. So good. Let's clear it too, though, and move on.
All right.
Moving on. Okay. We're going to ask you like a few questions as we, so just what we're going to do when we use the stamp tools next, we're going to ask everyone to just hold off. I'll show you why. So just like follow our instructions when it comes to the stamp tools for the next little while. But we have a huge team. Now, obviously this photo was taken not any time in the recent past.
Is there anyone who's got like something where we can date them? Like,
no, well, look who that is right there.
There's the new sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a team of teaching staff that are going to be helping. Right now we have 9 teaching assistants and about 20 teaching volunteers to help you out in your seminars. You will meet them all. They're wonderful. Yeah. If you have any questions about your seminars or whatever, we don't go directly to the TAs because we have so many of them. Again, everything goes to the BIOL 1070 email address if you have any questions. And then Dr. Ward Campbell will make sure that the right person gets the right question or will be able to answer the question for you. Okay. We are also very connected to the world, and we'd like to encourage you to be as well. So Twitter is a thing that we use a lot, and sometimes we tag 1070 if we think that it's relevant or interesting. There is nothing that's sort of content related that you must be on social media, obviously. But if you want to get involved or to learn more about what's going on in biology, social media is a really great way, especially academic Twitter, to be able to learn more about it. And if you want, we could do a whole session after class one day on social media and biology and Twitter and all of that stuff, if you're interested. Okay. So we talked about 3 overarching themes that we're going to talk about, right? Evolution, ecology, physiology are 3 disciplines. And I think if we just explore those disciplines, there are sort of big themes, big trends, right? And that is, what do you think about when you think about like big themes and big trends in biodiversity?
I suppose I think about how I sometimes try and rank things
Yeah.
Why? Well, because I think it helps me order them in terms of how I want. Maybe it's like most important, what I think might be most important to least important, or most overarching, and then this happens within it, and then this.
Yeah.
But for me personally,
yeah,
it's the abiotic factors.
Oh no, dude. Okay, we're gonna argue about this one day. Like, we'll do an after-class argument about factors that are important.
I will introduce why that's correct.
Yeah. Okay, but so it's really important to understand concepts related to hierarchies and rankings and scales, and we're gonna play around with these a lot, right? Because there are different scales, there are different ranks.
Throw in the chat. Have you heard, as you've been training in your life to be a biologist, of all of those different multifarious kinds? Have people talked to you about hierarchy in biology or scales? Is that if you think scales in biology, do you all just think fish? Because it's a different one that we're thinking about. So if you've got ideas about hierarchy and you want to throw them in the chat.
Yeah, they're really, really important. So there's a lot going on, and what we find in biology is that depending upon where you are in the sort of biological world of hierarchies, so we call those the biological levels of organization, the patterns and the sort of influencing variables are different. So we can ask questions about certain things at certain levels, but then you have to ask different questions or use different methods in order to study those things at other levels. And I am keeping myself deliberately vague because we would like to ask you what comes to mind when you think about biological levels of organization. So to do that, we'd love it if you could open up a web browser, another one, and go to www.menti.com. That's great. Somebody, biological levels of organization, capitalist scum. I think it was for the one before, but that's pretty funny. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, go to www.menti.com and type in the code 87104338. And there we go. You're already there, some of you. Thank you so much. I love this. This is great. We'll give you 1 minute to do this. This is just a mind mapping kind of exercise. Let us know what you think.
Oh, there's some good observations. Some hierarchy is arbitrary. They make sense, and then you look at them more, and they totally break down.
Yay!
We'll see if, yeah.
I love that one. Super good. Okay.
We got land, water.
30 more seconds.
Swearing, Homer Simpson. Animal food chain, ecosystem.
Nice.
Genus and species. If you share the results on screen grab.
Yeah, okay. Super good. Okay. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Let me just share with you what we're seeing. So here we go. Lots and lots of different ideas, lots of different things that are related to hierarchies. This is so, so good. Some of these things are not directly related to biological levels of organization, and I'm grateful that you put some of those things as well, because it's really important, I think, in biology, and I think in this course, what you're going to learn is that terminology and the words that we use matter sort of deliberately and specifically. Okay. So we could have said, you know, what comes to mind when we say the word biology, and that would be a much broader discussion, right? There could be lots and lots of things. But when we say biological levels of organization, we're talking about something very specific, right? And I do see some of those words in there. So for example, I see the words population, I see the words community, I see the words organism, I see all of those things that are directly related to the biological levels of organization.
One of the things that I also like is that out of a group of course, you know word clouds, and so
Cells.
you know that the size of the text here corresponds to how
Ecosystem, good.
To how many times they've appeared. And so I love the fact that there are so many words that are so small, which means we're getting a diversity of words, that you're not kind of congregating on the same thing, and you're not looking at the screen going, yeah, I think population too. So this is so well done.
Great. Super good. Yeah, there's all of the answers related to the biological levels of organization are in this word cloud, and there's more, which is delightful. So that's really great. And we'll walk you through those. And in fact, that's what we're going to be working on for the rest of this class. For the next 10 minutes, we'll talk about organization. We'll talk about the course organization, and then we'll blow it up to a little bit more of biology. Okay? This course, maybe students say, is a bit different than other courses that they've taken, and that's fine. We're comfortable with that. What we really sort of value in terms of this course is your experience as a student, as somebody who is engaging in the content, who is asking their own questions, who has their own experiences or their own priorities. We want to empower you to be critical and logical thinkers rather than get you to memorize something. So, for example, in your heads, or you can say it out loud, especially if you're like in a public space, that would be hilarious. Finish this sentence. The mitochondria is the
powerhouse of cell.
So good. You do not need to ever know this in our class. You never need, there we go. You never have to memorize things in this class. It is all about critical thinking and logic and application of things, right? So we don't have, in biology, we don't have any one right answer except for that one. The Ontario government has been brilliant at getting everyone to know the end of that sentence, if nothing else.
Oh, it's bigger than that. It's the world.
But you will be uncomfortable with this. This will make you nervous, and discomfort is to be in a state of learning. If you are comfortable, it means that you are remembering something that you've already learned. Our job is not to make you comfortable. Our job is to respect your discomfort in that space of being unsure, and to value and to appreciate and to empathize with that, to remember what it was like to be learning these things and to learn along with you so that you can see us uncomfortable trying to answer questions.
In a film or a TV-based scenario, we're not asking you to sit there and have like the gauzy screen that we're like, and you remember and you're like, oh, I remember when I was in the summer and running down the beach. This is the training montage. This is like fire up the music and you're going to join the team and you're going to build something in the next 5 minutes the next 12 weeks.
That's right.
So that's our training montage music at the start of every lecture.
That's right. So, we put up difficult questions. They are not there for you to get right. They are simply there for you to get wrong so that you never forget the correct answer, right? We do these things that are uncomfortable so that we can anchor places in your brain and connect them later on. So you'll see it. It may feel uncomfortable, but just trust us, trust the process, and you'll see quite soon how it all comes together.
We're hearing some feedback that by making learning uncomfortable with our group, we're making things uncomfortable for their roommates and people who are sitting on the same corridor or the same hallway. That they're that when we ask them to say things aggressively out loud, their friends jumped. So
that's awesome.
Learning's uncomfortable. It scales. There's yaks.
We won't get you to do it again, I promise. Okay, here we go. Let's continue. So science is a process. It is not a collection of facts. And in fact, if all we did was teach you these facts that you can Google at any point, then you would not be getting good value for your hard-earned tuition money. So we will not be doing that. We will trust you and empower you to go and find those facts when we ask these questions. No memorizing. And we will bring you through that process throughout the course. So the course. Here's an infographic that describes the course. If we have here on the left-hand side this like tower, these are sort of, pedagogical words related to teaching and learning, where we kind of build from the bottom up, right? We have remembering, understanding, applying, all the way to creating, okay? And the idea is that we can design our lessons or our learning outcomes using these different types of words, right? What do we want students to be able to do by the end of this lesson or by the end of this course? And so what we've done is designed the assessments so that they touch on a few of these things that are appropriate for a first-year biology introductory course, okay? So our readings and our quizzes are very much in the realm of remembering and understanding. Those we want you to do before class. And then the seminars and the assignments, they build on all of those things. The classes, the synchronous classes, like what you're going to experience on Wednesday when we dive into the content, and the exams, topic tests, we're calling them, are definitely in the upper region. So we will not be revisiting the things that we test on the quiz, for example. That's already done. And then we have a big final project called the EPP and the IA that we will introduce to you starting in about seminar 7. And that's really about creating your own meaning and your own content. So hold off on the stamping. And only when I say 3 do I want you to stamp. And I want to give everyone the opportunity to read this question. So please no stamping. Read the question. It says, I can read it to you as well. Today we mentioned the concept of hierarchy as an important theme in biology. Based upon their structures, which of these hierarchies is not like the others? Don't stamp yet. Okay, we'll give everyone at least a minute.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not the same. Sesame Street in the 70s taught us to be afraid of that which was different.
There we go. Okay. So go ahead. Next time, please wait.
They all decided at the same time.
They all decided. Yeah, super good. Okay, in the chat, the important part. Why do you think the answer is B?
Giving you time to type.
The chat appears to be disabled.
The chat on CourseLink. Yeah.
The chat is not in.
Okay, that makes much more sense.
Cool. And the reason why
how do you get onto the CourseLink one? How would you get onto the CourseLink?
On the nav bar, when you arrive at CourseLink, on the nav bar at the top, it'll say chat right about here.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Join us there. The reason why we have the chat there is because then you can go and take a look at it whenever you want later. So if somebody puts in like a resource that you want to be able to access, you can always go in and take a look at the history of the chat and then see who said what, when, and all of that stuff. Okay, are we verbalizing or putting into words?
Yep. There is verbalization.
Wonderful.
Only one person in each position because there's no real difference between marathon runners other than their placement in the race. Runners are based on skill or rank. The others are a hierarchy. It doesn't start from the smallest unit. Singular versus plural.
Right. Okay. So just to kind of arm you with some of the reason for why B is the correct answer is more important because sometimes we can get it wrong, right? What the reason is, and then just randomly pick the right answer for that. If you draw out these different hierarchies, you'll see a very distinct difference. All of the other ones, the university organization, military organization, taxonomic classification, levels of biological organization, these are all referred to as nested hierarchies. Nested. It means that there are many subunits and that the grouping of subunits defines that level of organization. So what do I mean? Let's do the biological levels of organization. And we'll just do a couple of examples. But basically, let's say we start at cells, and it doesn't start at cells, it goes below, but let's just say we start at cells. A whole bunch of cells is a tissue. A whole bunch of tissues is an organ. A whole bunch of organs is an organ system. A whole bunch of organ systems is an organism. You see where I'm going with this? There's a whole bunch of something that defines the next level, okay? And it's nested. It means that these are in tight packages that define the next level above, okay? That's a nested hierarchy. B is a linear hierarchy. So it's just 1, 2, 3 in terms of the rankings, okay? But it's not that a whole bunch of second runners is a first runner, right? That would be a nested way, which would be delightful because then we would all be winners. But still, okay? So
it would change how you watch the Olympics this summer.
So this pattern, and again, we will not ever ask you what is the definition of a nested hierarchy. We may ask you to draw one, right? You can put these things into your own words, and that is far more valuable than us giving you those words. You can Google nested versus linear hierarchy and find the sites that you want to use in order to learn that stuff. And then you can do a little bit of homework. So what we're going to do with this course is we're going to assign homework. And the reason why we do this is because each course that you're taking right now is designed so that students are studying and learning within the course for about 10 hours per week. We only schedule 3 of those for you, right? Your seminar and then your classes. And what we find is that students, especially as they're coming into university, are unsure about the expectations. So, you know, a professor can say, well, did you study? And you can go, well, I looked at my notes, and then that's not really how you should be studying or what is expected. So we've completely removed the responsibility on you to figure out all of these things, and we've come up with specific sort of things that you can do. To help you with that, if we end a class with a homework question, we start the next class with that question.
Or at least we intend to. So if you see us that we haven't, then you can be like, I think you meant to start. And we're like, oh man.
Next
right.
class, right? So the vast majority of them will be these homework, and then we'll take it up on Wednesday, that kind of deal. Or we'll give it to you on Wednesday and we'll take it up on Monday.
I think one of the other things is that whether or not university is new to you, because some of you are not, there are some people who are taking this course as you change majors and recalibrate your direction in university.
Yep.
For all of you, in first year or not, what we know from past feedback is that this tends to be a different course.
Yep.
Within your first year, what you're taking in first year. So having these kinds of suggestions and guides along the way is really important. And
Great.
So please take advantage of them.
So let's not answer this one, please, because that is your homework question. So it's going to be a doozy, and you're going to learn a lot about biological levels of organization as a result of doing it. So generally, the levels of biological organization are structured into a nested hierarchy. Which of the following does not follow nested organization? It's a tough question. So don't worry about, oh my goodness, I have no idea. It means that we want you to learn about the biological levels of organization. We want you to dive in and do some homework. It'll probably take about an hour, and hopefully you'll be able to come up with the answer, and we will take it up next time. Don't panic, please.
Bring your towel.
Everything will be okay. Yeah. We have lots of support for you. There's an FAQ for this course because there are so many students that have taken it. We've kept track of all of your questions. Please go and check out the FAQ.
ಜಿಯಾಲಜಿలో ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅನ್ನಿ ಸ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು
There we go. Let's just mute everybody. Sorry. I think somebody accidentally unmuted themselves. Okay. Don't panic. We've got your back. If you need anything, get in touch. If you have any questions about just navigating the university, we're also happy to help you. Something funny is going on. Okay. We mute all. Again. There we go. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. Did it mute me? No. Good. So hopefully you'll be able to, but if you do need any help with anything, just let us know. We have the FAQs, we have the discussion forum. I saw some of you posting some discussion questions. We will be monitoring that as well. And the discussion forum on the CourseLink site is really good because chances are if you have a question about something, like 50 or 60 other students in this course have that same question. So posting it there is really helpful to a lot of people, and that's really great. Okay, if you have a question, I see one of you has their hand up. Maybe you could stick around for after class. We aren't going anywhere. We're just gonna
turn off the video.
Yeah, we're just gonna just go away for a minute, say goodbye to everyone, and then we're available for answering questions. No problem.
But in the future, those kinds of questions, if you've got the hand up like that, we're not going to see that because of the way that we have all 4 of our screens laid out.
Yeah,
there's only 4. And it's not the Minority Report kind of thing. And so what we'd like you to do is to throw those questions in the chat. And then it's not impolite if it doesn't get answered to repost it. Because with, as you can probably imagine, with 600 people who might be posting questions, we don't always see them right away.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, we are over time. We will not usually go over time. But we just thought to go through everything and give you as much detail as possible.
Slides in the video will be inside of week 1, lecture 1. You'll see it there.
Yes, and here's where you get started. Go to CourseLink. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you would like to stick around for the next, say, up to about half an hour, 45 minutes, something like this, we are going to just turn off our camera for a minute, take a break, and we will be back in about 4 minutes to answer any questions or to dive down a Google wormhole of awesomeness. So we'll see you in a little bit if you want to stick around. Otherwise, have an amazing rest of your day.
Yeah, welcome to your year.
Welcome.
We're really lucky to be here with you. Keep sharing for now.
Yeah, I just like I like the comments. I think they're cute. Okay, pause.